we thank Professor Tom Mitchell for this workshop. Honestly, we know that sometimes it's not easy to understand all his work. So we said, okay, for the final remarks that are so important, we will do it in the room and then we will have the conclusion.
Thank you very much for coming along and having a look at that workshop. We hope you took something from it. I hope we were able to showcase some of the 10 iCoach Kids principles. So I guess the floor is yours to ask any questions that you like, and I'm happy to try and answer them.
I think I can shout.
Yeah, thank you, Tom, for the activities. Very nice. I did a lot of this stuff myself back in the days. I just wanted to ask you, do you think the second activity that you did, the tag game, was inclusive enough?
I think the first version of it that we did, where people were out and they were stood still, was on purpose. We tried to demonstrate, or I don't know if people could hear or not, we tried to demonstrate that a version of it can maybe not be inclusive and people have to stand still and do nothing and cool down. And in the second version, we added a shooting activity, and we also added in a smaller version of the game right at the end to demonstrate how you can make it more inclusive and keep more people moving at the end.
Could you provide us also some examples, like organizing it in a way that it is not a parallel activity, but get the kids out again back in the game? Would there be possible to modify the rules a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, we've done versions of that where you're maybe out the game just for 30 seconds, do some star jumps, do some quick shoot, 5 shots, straight back in. So the game never ends. So you can easily do it like that with a temporary exit and a back in. And the game can go on as long as you want it to at that point. But yeah, thank you for that.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Tom, for your presentation and your demonstration as well. It was very comprehensive. But you are based on 10 principles. Have a hierarchy, or you have to be creative by choosing and using that all-in-one in action?
Yeah, so with the 10 principles, we try and apply them at all times, and the time is taken in planning. Because in every hour session, there's at least that game in planning. What we see with employed coaches is quite a lot of the time, they're not employed for that planning, and that's a really difficult moment for a coach if they want to try and apply all 10. So we would encourage anyone that's paying coaches is to pay them more to plan more effectively, to be able to apply all those. I think with enough planning, we can apply most of those 10.
It's not any priority in this respect.
It's not really a priority.
Just to be creative.
Yeah, to be creative and plan as much as well as you can. If they're all moving and they're all having fun, they're all engaged in a reasonably linear sort of fashion, so they're all moving in a way that you want, or playing the game that's maybe like basketball that you want, then you're all right. We try and include all 10 at all times where possible. It takes a lot of planning, and that's the challenge.
Yeah, thank you.
In one of your principles, you said that you prioritize fun from learning. Yeah.
Well, we want to ensure they go from A to B and improve over a session a week, a month.
But is it a question of fun is more important than learning itself, or altogether?
It keeps them coming back.
Okay.
And that prevents the drop.
My question, because I think I know your answer, but I need to ask it. My question is this: I have a feeling that parents might want or might expect to see more learning for fun sometimes from us coaches. So how does this go along with parents, or are you tackling different kind of athletes? Because if I'm sending my son to a football nursery, not to a basketball nursery, to an academy or something, I'm I'm expecting my son to become better in football, so he becomes a star as a parent, no? Is there a friction there?
Yeah, I think there is. I mean, probably first of all, I suppose if a child has enjoyed it and over a month has got no better, then we're not really doing our jobs that much as coaches. Our role is to improve people and have an impact on people. That is a fact in my opinion. But I think we can do that in fun ways that look messy, that look like games, that don't look ultra professional, that don't have all these professional drills. They can look like games. But you're right, there's, and I've experienced that myself, you sometimes parents are going, well, what were you doing there? It didn't look like basketball. What were you playing? And that is where one of the principles around parental engagement is educating parents, talking to parents that we can do this in a fun manner. They can look like they're having fun whilst they're learning at the same time. And again, I think you're back to planning.
No, but this level of work is a lot of work, no? It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And we tend, I don't know if it's everyone is saying, but we tend to pay the coach for the session.
Yeah.
But coaching is not the session, that's the easiest part. So I think we're working in an industry which is not making sense, no? Because we work 5 hours planning and parent education and design and this and that and periodize it, whatever. And then we do 1 hour, 30 minutes, and we're paid for 1 hour, 30 minutes. So all the rest is volunteer work. Because it's not that the rate is so high that you can cover that. Is this a problem with I coach kids?
It's a problem for coaching. I coach kids is through the website and ideas and resources and principles and the course. I coach kids is trying to make those other 4 hours that you talked about a little bit quicker, a little bit smoother to try to help coaches. But it's a coaching problem that sports organisations, employers and coaches need to acknowledge that if they want high quality coaching, they either need to pay more or acknowledge planning is a massive part of it. But yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and also another one that two questions.
Actually, with sport engagement is not only a problem of the parents, but also of the sport manager, who is putting some pressure to the coaches, because if the coach wins, he's a good coach. If he doesn't win, but builds the future champion or the future participant into sport, is not a good coach. So it's not a matter of educating parents only, but also the coaches, but also the managers on their roles, distinct responsibilities. In this regard, the Empatia Sport, which has been a very interesting work done and is all the educational platform for the parents, developed with more than 500 top-level parents who said what they were, their problems, their needs, and so on. And the platform is there, open to anybody, 5 languages. If you need your language, just send the translation and will be also included. But what I'm saying is that we have to engage in the new generation on the triangular relationship between educated parents, educated sport managers, educated coaches. In the center, there is the key. So what do you do to educate the parents? I gave you just the highway because it's already there. But for the managers, how would you manage to mediate the manager view in this approach? This is a question.
That's a big question. I think for me it's trying to encourage sport managers to have a holistic view of success. So if they don't make it professional, there's other ways people can be successful and celebrate success. I think that's really important. I think a good one for managers for me is there's a financial benefit of keeping people in sports organisations longer. You've got more people paying their memberships. So if you can have different strands of engagement, you've got a financial benefit there. That's one of the biggest arguments you can make to a sports manager.
This is feeling, personal feeling and personal communication capabilities. What I'm saying is that who educate future sport manager. For example, my university has the master degree in sport management. Have to include this kind of information because they would be open to this. And the other thing is the sport federation. The sport federation educate managers, but they never include these kind of topics, these kind of data. So I think that more than one-to-one personal, it's like your career, I can go and ask, but this is not the case. We have to structure education for managers.
Yeah, I would agree. On our sports coaching course, where some people go on to be sport managers, we I coach kids principals within that, so we're exposing 100 graduates a year getting exposed to this. I coach kids who are writing some degree standards, so degrees all over the world can actually try to adhere to some of and be recognised for that with the 10 principles. So yeah, I think education is going to hit as many people as possible, so I think that would be important.
First of all, I would express my gratitude for the presentation this morning and for the application in connection of the presentation this morning for the practical activity chain. Because this is the connection that is in big words, faculty development is the formation of the university teacher. This is the fifth level for the dynamics. I am a pedagogic sports scientist. I would ask in this mission 2 questions. First one is why do you use the term BIM instead skills in the presentation this morning? Because I don't know this term and I would like to learn because your English, your tradition in the educational aspects of sports science in the world is the best for me. The second question is, in Italy we have the change for the bachelor and master degree in sports science because we have the teaching, the placement or tirocini, and for the next year the practical activity and or laboratory activity this morning. This triangle is different from the triangle of sports management and project of plan of physical education of sports science. What do you see about this triangle from this point of your point of view?
Thank you for that. The first question, the beams. So we have the social and cognitive beams. It's an analogy maybe written for coaches. So I coach kids have come up with that as a way to try and engage coaches. So it's probably not in our textbooks, it's probably not in our modules, but it's a way of engaging coaches that children develop along those beams.
That's all right.
It's an analogy. And in terms of your question about the triangles, you have the laboratory.
Yes.
Yeah, what was the other two?
Teaching,
Teaching, yeah.
placement,
A
practical activity, and or practical of a laboratory.
Yeah.
It's different from practical activity.
Yeah.
Because practical activity is drills, prescriptive learning.
Yeah.
Laboratory activity is how to project the plan
Yeah.
for the student, for the athlete.
Yeah, I mean, I think that works. That sounds very similar to what we have on our degree at our institution. So we have modules around teaching, and we teach them in lectures and seminars. We have, most modules have a practical element where they can go and just practice. So a bit of your lab.
Yes.
So most modules have that attached. They come out of lecture, they go straight into the lab to try to apply that in a practical setting. So they're regularly in sports halls. And we also allow, or we encourage, placement outside of the lab at a school, for example, or a local grassroots school, or something like that, so they can see that it's not always perfect. It's not always in a perfect setting. So we put them in real settings, and then we check and challenge that knowledge. So those three domains we run, very similar to yours, we find that works best.
So, do you think that is a complementary placement and laboratory activity in the formation of the teacher?
Yes, definitely. They have to have the safe space to try and apply the theory in a laboratory setting, where they can manipulate variables quite easily, so space, equipment, size of group. But we want them out in the real world to actually really have a go with real children. So one of our assessments we're going to have at Christmas is we've been doing laboratory settings. We're going to bring a school to our setting, and they're going to work with real school children, and that will be a good learning experience. Thank you.
The chair?
Yeah.
One more question.
Maybe we take the last question and
Yeah.
then we close. Any more question? No. It was me talking to him, that's all. Because it was
I had one question, but it's a joke, it's not a real question. I want to know if, because you show a picture, no? With the two girls, one was jumping. I want to know if it was Professor de Matteler when she was young. the same hair. So,
it's the avatar, no?
okay.
So I think we should thank Dr. Tom Mitchell from Leeds Budget and I Coach Kids. Of course, thank you everyone for your contribution and questions this morning. It's very evident that it was a bit shorter today and more practice because today we had a lot of questions. It means we have more energy. So thank you everyone and thank you Tom.
So we arrived at the end of this tour. It was a short but very intensive journey that we passed all together with different presentations. And I'm really happy because all presentation was at a very good level. That means that ENSE is in the right way, is going forward. More than an organization, is a vision. So that put all together different universities and more than that, the other universities that are trying to be part of the member of ENSE organization. So, like a member of the board of ENSE and like host of this forum, I'm really happy for the results that we get these 2 days at work, for the friendship that we created together, and for in the meeting that the board of ENSE has, just put some key points to look forward for many new and different ways to go forward in the future. Anyway, the president of ENSE is going to explain more than I was saying. For all presentation, I have to say that it will be a special number of our journal. So we're going to be publicate the whole thing. So the technical part with stamp with University of Sport even the ENSE, if the president is available with it, and you will have the possibility to have the whole journal online. We are going to put in our website, even in the website of ENSE. So everyone is going to be, let's say, involved even in the formal way inside of this forum that we did. Thank you very much, and I'm really happy for that happened here in Tirana. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, Rector Casa, because you did us the possibility to have a new forum also this year, because it was not scheduled. Previously, the ENSE Forum was scheduled every 2 years, but after 3 years of COVID and other problems, last year we had to work in an emergency to start once again with the forum. This year was not scheduled, but at the end we did, and we succeeded, thanks to the University of Tirana. And now also the board has decided to have an annual forum. So next year it is already scheduled, but there will be also one in 27 and 28, 29, and so on. I want to thank you all. You are so beautiful. 51 persons still here on Saturday for lunch. So this really, and also the feeling that we had has been really very, very positive. And I want to focus on 4 points, but don't worry, very quick. The first point is that, as I say, the Tirana Forum has created a positive energy. For 2 days, we were friends. Even the board, we were hugging. Hanging is when you're not hugging. We're really, we need to be clear with the words. Hugging each other in presence after online meetings. So now, and also talking with you yesterday evening, every time they came to call me, come to the table, but I prefer to share feelings with you, and the feeling that I was perceiving was positive energy. So now, please, I tell this to me first, but to everybody, let's maintain this positive feeling that we have. We have charged our battery in Tirana, and now we have to move with our battery charge. And this is also a way to remember what happened in Tirana. So don't lose this energy, don't lose this friendship, don't lose the network that we have created. That's important. Second, we have so very interesting presentation. Yesterday, Professor Henry Charter said to hello to everybody. You know, we are the board here now. Is missing Henry Chan, is missing the Secretary General, Secretary that he couldn't come, but we are almost most of the board. We are here, and he had to leave earlier this morning, a few minutes ago. But yesterday he said, Antonio, I don't remember another forum with so interesting presentation like this. And he has a longer memory than me, because I remember that my first forum was in Rome in 2014, 15. And this is really we are very happy about that. And obviously this is a contribution that all of you have done to make it happen. And then, as the director said, we will publish all the abstracts. And if someone also wants to develop the abstract in a longer abstract, we will send the information for this. It's free to do, and then we will publish this special issue. And then 3, communication. to make sure that we will use this positive energy that we have, the board has to communicate easily with the member. You know that ENSE is the membership. Till now, the membership for ENSE are membership for the institution. But I have to say that we have some institutions that we send the email but they don't answer because probably the contact person that they gave at the beginning has never been renewed. So we will use you. We will use the contact, the email that we have to be all together contact person of the same institution. Then they will decide who is the contact person official. But for us, it is important the contact person that are really in contact with us. This morning we were talking with Lithuania Sport University. I don't care that is another name. For us, now will be Simona, Pana, sorry the pronunciation. The ones that yesterday pronounced it correctly, they were exercising. Panama, Panciacciani, Simona Panciacciani, more or less, will be for sure our contact person. And then also to develop as a board. Now we will take care that you will receive on regular basis the newsletters, and also we were talking about to create some research groups because we want to invest also in research. So we need to create a real also scientific and academic network, and we will do this. I don't want to spoil everything, but you will receive emails, information the next days. And then the next forum. We have received, we cannot say, we cannot announce that is official, but till now we have received an official candidature from the Polytechnic of Santarém University in Rio Maior. So we will take in Portugal, we will take the final decisions in the next 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks, and maybe we will announce that this will not be only the candidature but also the reality. What we can we have to fix now the next forum, and for sure we will open also a candidature for 2026 because we want that people have time to buy the flights in advance, to save money, to fix the budget because when we receive also sometimes the lucky of us that receive a budget maybe to participate to a congress. If we arrive in July, as we did this year, but thanks to the University of Vienna, we couldn't. We arrived to announce a new forum. Maybe some have finished the budget, so they can plan everything. And that's all. So what I can say is only one word: Faleminderit in Albania. Now you can enjoy, because the rector planned, Safiola will come here to say, but the rector planned also to have some, also today, to have something.
Thank you.
So, okay, you want to say something?
You wanted to say? No, I was telling him that I was honestly impressed by the level of presentations, not only with the level of presenters, but also by the level of presentations. So I think it was really lovely to follow so much good research. But I think the beautiful part of this is that there was a lot of good facts. And all of us, I I think in sports, if we stop at the level of good research, it's, whether it's to say useless. In the moment that research becomes good practice as well, I think it's a great moment. I think here we're sharing very good research and practices, and something I was telling to Tom, but then was in a very nice environment. We all have been in conferences, and not always it's a beautiful environment. Sometimes it feels like people are not wanted, or it's not home. And my feeling here is we were home. So I think it's a beautiful community that's being created, and hopefully we'll make it an even bigger community on this level. So thank you very much.
Yes.